Welcome! Are you excited for a fun learning session? Science 5, Quarter 3, Week 1, Measuring Motion in Terms of Distance and Time. Describe the motion of an object by tracing and measuring its change in position over a period of time. That's our most essential learning competency. You learned in our previous lesson or quarter 2 about protecting and conserving intertidal zones and estuaries are vital to our environment. In this lesson, you need to elucidate the meaning of motion of an object by tracing its change in position over a period of time. Compute the measure or the measurement, the movement of an object in terms of distance and time, and carry out the value of having a reference point when understanding motion. Look at the picture in our screen. What does the children do in the picture? Right, the children are playing. Do you know what they call to that traditional Filipino game? Do you experience to play patintero with your friends? What are you going to do in order to win in the game? Correct again, you need to pass on the line and do not be able to touch by the other players. Then, do players need to move while playing the patintero? Why is it important to move around? Right. So you will not or so that they will not cross on the line. Body movements in any games are necessary to play the game properly and of course to win. Motion and energy are relatively important in our daily life. Motion and energy work together to make things easier for us. Through the help of force, motion can be achieved. Without motion, we cannot do work and enjoy life. Life is so boring without any movement or any motion in it. By definition, motion is a change of position with respect to its reference point. A reference point is a fixed place or an object used to determine the position of the object. The activities that you are going to perform will clearly describe what causes the object to move. Also, you will measure the distance covered by a moving object which is affected by its speed or the measure of how fast it moves. Prepare the material listed, and if not available, you may use other materials at home to perform the activity. You may ask the help of your parents or guardians or any adult member of the family if needed. The materials you need to prepare are the following: small ball, notebook, large hardbound book, masking tape, toy car, ruler or in centimeters, and marker pen. Procedures. Number 1. Mark a spot on the floor with a masking tape. Label it as point A. Number 2. Place the small ball on point A, then below on it. Then, using a ruler, record the distance in centimeters if the ball moved away from point A or if it did not move at all. Then 4. Place a toy car on point A, then blow on it. As much as possible, apply the same amount of force applied on the ball. The number 5, using a ruler, record the distance in centimeters if the toy car moved away from point A or did not move at all. Next is number 6. Place a notebook on point A, then blow on it with the same amount of force applied on the ball a toy car. Number 7, using a ruler, record the distance in centimeters if the note move away from point A or did not move at all. The number 8, repeat steps 1 to 7, but this time push the ball, the toy car, and the notebook with your fingers. Record your observations. The number 9, repeat steps 1 to 7, but this time use one side of the hard book as a ramp. 45 degrees inclination, label its highest point as A, then put the ball, toy car, and notebook one at a time without applying any force. Observe that what will happen to the ball, toy car, and notebook, then record your observations. The number 10, make a table like the one below to record your observations. Put a check mark if there was movement after force was applied. And watch this video about that activity. And the measurement and answer the following questions. Number 1, which action causes all the objects move? Why do you think this action causes movement? Which among the object is the hardest to move and why? Which among the object is the easiest to move and why? What is the importance of point A in determining the movement of the object? And these are the correct answers. For number one, blow, push, and use ramp. Number two, it move. Three, notebook, too heavy or big. Number four, ball, round and smooth. And number five, you know if an object moved from one place to another. Now, this time, prepare the materials listed. If not available, you may use other materials at home to perform the activity. You may ask again the help of your parents, guardians, or any adult members of the family if needed. Materials. First is three books of equal thickness, marble, two rulers of the same size, metric tape, measure. Position the ruler together on a book with a distance from each other that would fit a marble. The rulers would serve as a ramp for the marbles. Release the marble between the rulers. Measure in centimeters the distance covered by the marble. Take note of the time in seconds as the marble travels. Repeat steps 1 and 2 for trial 2. Put another book on top of the first book. Repeat steps 1 to 3. Then put another book on top of the two books. Repeat step 1 to 3. Then record your measurement in the next slide. Then answer the following questions. First question is, what setup resulted to the shortest distance traveled by the marble? Why do you think the marble traveled the shortest distance with this setup? Number two, what setup resulted to the longest distance traveled by the marble? Why do you think the marble traveled the longest distance with this setup? The number three, how can measuring distance help us in comparing things in motion? Number four, what is the effect of height of the distance a marble travels from a ramp? Then what is the speed of the marbles in trial 1 and 2? And this is the video in that activity.
Gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down, find what you love and excel, yeah. Push and pull and repel any hate, go create what you want, feel compelled, yeah. And once you finally get a taste of the race, you'll never look back once you felt that. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. About others way before myself, yeah. I guess that's why I feel like I go through hell, damn. Wasting time on your dreams instead of mine, yeah. About to turn this franchise around on a dime, man. It's all about finding your right state of mind. It's all about turning the worst into fine. It's all about time and the work and the climb. From the thirst we will rise, I'm immersed in this life. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth. Just focus on yourself first. You gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down, find what you love and excel, yeah. Push and pull and repel any hate, go create what you want, feel compelled, yeah. And once you finally get a taste of the race, you'll never look back once you felt that. Don't let somebody take your time.
The answer for number 1 is set A. Only one ramp used, and the height of the ramp is a bit small. Number 2, set C. Number 3, we can identify which move farthest from the rest. And for number 4, it resulted a longer distance travel. And for number 5, these are the answers. Remember this. Push or pull as part of exerting force may also relative to the distance on the object when it is moved from one point to another. However, distance is the measure of how far or near two points are from another. It can be measured using different ways such as time, landmark, or body parts. Therefore, there are appropriate tools and ways to measure distance so you can tell whether the object is near or far. Distance is measured by using tools such as meter stick, tape measure, measuring wheel, and ultrasonic distance measurer. And on the other hand, the distance covered by a moving object is affected by speed or the measure of how fast it moves. Speed of an object can be calculated by dividing the distance covered by an object in motion by the time spent covered the distance. For example, uh, Heros traveled 5 meters away with her bike from her house going to Plaza in 120 seconds. In getting the speed of Heros' bike, following the formula stated above, or S is equal to D over T, or distance covered divided by time, and this is the solution. Speed is equal to 5 meters divided by 120 seconds, and the answer is 0.42 meter per seconds. So the speed of Hera's bike is 0.42 meter per seconds from her house to the plaza. Now, get a paper and a pen and answer the following. Name at least 5 of your daily activities and describe how motion takes place. Action involving motion and how does motion take place. And these are some example of an answer to that activity. Throwing a ball upward, pushing a cart forward, pulling a door open, moving seesaw up or down, swinging pendulum left and right. Analyze and solve the problems, then fill in the table with the needed information. Problems. A cyclist travels 200 kilometers in 8 hours. What is the speed of the cyclist? Number 2, a mouse runs a distance of 2 meters in 15 seconds. What is its speed? Number 3, A car, a car travels 300 kilometers in 5 hours. What is its speed? A man runs 108 kilometers in 3 hours. What is his speed? And number 5, a tricycle drove to a passenger's house that is 20 meters away from the station in 10 minutes. What is the speed of the tricycle? And these are the answers. Remember that in describing the motion of an object by tracing and measuring its change in position over a period of time, you need to take value of the importance of having a standard unit of measurement in determining the distance between 2 points. Knowledge in conversion is also necessary to get the speed of a moving object. Can you try to solve this word problem? My Santos family always get together during weekend. They plan go to Tagaytay with their Toyota Rush. Tagaytay is 70 meters away from their home and they tend to get there in just 35 minutes. What will be the speed the car needed to land in Tagaytay? Now, get again a paper and a pen. Number 1. A change in an object's position is called A. Force, B. Motion, C. Pulling, D. Pushing. Number 2. How do you know if an object has changed position? A. It is not visible anymore. B. It looks bigger. C. It is farther or closer from a reference point. Or D. It is on top of a reference point. Number 3. Forces have both length in magnitude and speed, B. Direction and speed, C. Magnitude and direction. Number 4. The distance traveled by an object per unit time is called length. A. Velocity, B. Speed, C. Momentum, or D. Acceleration. Number 5. The property of an object that resists change in its motion is A. Mass, B. Inertia, C. Velocity, D. Momentum. And these are the correct answers. For number 6, a force that resists motion created by objects rubbing together is A. Gravity, B. Friction, C. Speed, or D. Force. Number 7, a force that pulls objects toward each other is A. Force, B. Frame of reference, C. Gravity, or D. Kinetic energy. Number 8, an example of balanced forces is A. A person skating back and forth on an ice rink, B. A tire with treads gaining speed on an icy road. C. Two soccer players running in opposite directions. Or D. A book resting on a desk. The number 9, a force that sets an object into motion is blank. A. Balanced, B. Friction, C. Unbalanced, or D. Inertia. And number 10, velocity is measure of speed that takes into account the blank. A. Weight of an object, B. Direction of movement, C. Force of the movement, or D. Acceleration of an object. And these are the correct answer. That ends our lesson for week 1, Science 5 of our Carter 3. Thank you for listening. Happy learning. Bye-bye.